So, welcome to yet another bit of this. See me right out of that sunset. Yeah, screw it. Let's get out of it. Just have a bit of fun. Somewhat better at guitar than playing the popsicle thingy with a mouse, but have to start off a bit stupid, don't we? Let's see what else in this room then. Apparently a mirror.
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me.
Okay, you get baggy eyes from a train.
That's an old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom. A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror. Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one.
Yeah, most people don't. Oh, there's music over there, so, alright.
One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories.
Come of the Damned and other short stories, alright.
Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting.
Some might, Choice and Consequence. Oh.
Choice and Consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? I don't even want to know what that one's about.
No. Buffalo skin. What?
I read that one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it.
Quite immensely thick for just dealing with that topic, I have to say. That looks like music that we are going to have to play later on, I'm sure.
Let's see if there's anything in these drawers.
I hope there are not notes.
Nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Now this is intriguing.
Not going to warn you again, you disgusting little thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house, or I'll kill. Yeah. Oh, it's a book, alright?
Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
As per usual, I'm going to pause, so if you want to read this, so should you. And done.
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Do that. Don't quit your day job, alright? Let's check that out then. And like I said, I haven't read.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though.
Or notes, rather. Dormifas. The 2 Kale. Scale. So we go from C to C. Is that all? Let's go try. Well, no. Was just a proper scale, wasn't it? So let's see. Well, oh, it starts at G. All right. Nah, help with nothing. Or do you go to next C as well? Yeah, you do. All right. Let's start with middle C then. Nothing. All right, screw it. Get out of here. Yeah, I was speaking my notes is what I was thinking. I know it's G on the in the middle of the thing, whatever it's called. The Enclave, I almost call it. That's what we call it in Swedish and Krav. I
have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
Been a while to say the least. Yeah.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it. My mother, resurrected, just like Jesus.
I want whatever he's on.
Yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
Oh, no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
Are you okay?
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Nothing as exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
No, Mr. Montgomery, most of them don't.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
I'm reminded of a famous quote, Mr. Fordham. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Let us part on good terms and avoid the subject altogether, please.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him. He has such pretty colors, doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like. Is that bad, do you think?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery. Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
This is ridiculous. He won't be of any use in this state. If it takes him as long to snap out of it as it takes you, we'll be waiting around here until noontime tomorrow. There has to be a way to bring him back to his senses. Maybe that quack outside knows something of use.
Yeah, maybe. I'll check that again just to make sure I'm not miskill you myself. Oh, that's what it says. That does not necessarily mean you myself, though. That's done. That's done. Tweez, I still don't get that bit. What? That is a clue. Area. Boy, mate. Anti-drug
Doctor,
thing.
may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Yeah.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community. I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
Do you think he'd say the same
Hell.
things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
Me too.
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupre had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupre wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a look.
Yeah, that surprised no one.
May I
Yeah.
ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of course. I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
So we're on uppers.
How long have you been Madame Dupre's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30. I still spend a couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
30 years is quite a long time. You must have seen some incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things.
Okay.
If you ask me, a good bloodletting will never go out of fashion.
Of course it won't.
Did you examine Madame Dupre after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupre to appear dead?
Voodoo.
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupre was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding.
We know.
I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish,
I know about that.
declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that facts.
Those are all the
though.
questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Sure did. Bye. See ya. And oh yeah. Anything new? Yeah, we know. Suspects none. Done. Close. Get out of here. And there should be something new, like Forest Lane. That's the place. Oh yeah, that's the cemetery. All right, let's head on to the cemetery. Why not?
Ah, St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days.
Anything new? Oh, all right.
The plaque says Harrison. Doesn't look very opulent, so I guess it doesn't belong to anyone important.
This guy's own house, so he must be somewhat
Looks like
important.
people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum. This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb.
True.
If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content.
Raid. Raid. I want to check it out. Look for clues. All right.
I don't
Hi.
know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Yeah, talk to me.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
My dear departed on Hester's birthday. Sure, let's
But
go
it's
with
my
it.
dearly departed Aunt Hester's birthday today.
Sorry.
And I always bring her flowers.
I'm sorry, sir, but I've got my orders. Come back in a few days. I can assure you, your aunt won't have gone anywhere.
Don't be too sure. Madame Dupre went up, didn't she?
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for idle chat, sir.
Why not?
Please, move along.
Good day to you, officer.
Somebody's
Afraid
being
I
made
ain't
over here.
got time for idle
screw it.
chat,
Yeah,
so
okay,
please.
Screw you then, bastards. And are they? So, yeah. Holy.
Egad! Is this someone's room or a jungle?
Quite a fascinating array of plants in here. Not to mention the machinery on the table.
Seems like Juliet is very interested in getting extra credit.
Books are nothing. That's nothing.
I wonder what
else
sort
or
of
something.
fertilizer or growth tonic these plants are getting. Whatever it is, it's definitely working. That's quite the book collection. It almost puts Adelaide's to shame.
All impeccably cataloged and organized as well, which makes the two missing volumes stand out even more.
Those are the most vibrant flowers we've seen in a while. I bet they smell extra strong.
Yes, they certainly do.
It's a good thing you're the one with the nose. This plant makes Miles Jr. look like a single blade of grass.
What is Miles Jr.? Notes. Crates. Right.
I'm guessing they're probably full of more scientific equipment or plant-related stuff.
Yeah, right. Let's read some notes
They
first.
appear to be scientific scribblings. I can't make heads nor tails of them.
That makes two of us.
They appear to be scientific...
No.
That makes...
You know what? That's all that's left, so...
Well, now, this is interesting.
It is. Yeah, you know the drill. I'm going to pause. That was sort of interesting.
Just a bunch of technical nonsense. I can't understand a word of it.
Yeah, well, maybe I can. Gauge, flies, button.
They're just doing what flies do best. Etheric pressure. What a bunch of nonsense.
So, let's do that. So, it's what you would do, isn't it? Okay. Slightly inspired by Tesla, I think. And let's repeat that. I think maybe I got a clue. Maybe we should turn that a bit more. Oh, they went back. You're right. So is that no, it's not.
I have no idea nor desire to know what purpose that thing has.
Click. Let's do that and then press exit thing. Come on, mate. Yeah, they should look stupid a bit. And let's get out. You're right, out there. I guess we should talk to her about the notes and this place. Where was she? Oh, yeah.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Mr. Fordham. Not at all.
Do you know anything about ethericity, Miss Montgomery?
You surprised me, Mr. Fordham. I had no idea someone of your profession would know or care about something like that.
I've found that it pays to be open-minded.
To answer your question, yes, I am familiar with the theory of ethericity. In fact, it's recently become a focus of my studies. Despite what the newspapers have been reporting, it's already possible to access it in small quantities from the air around us.
Have you conducted any experiments?
No, my research has been purely theoretical.
Oh, really?
I don't have the means to do anything practical, I'm afraid.
Deceiver, dissembler, her trousers are alight. I can't understand why Juliet might not want to make her research public, though.
Yeah, let's go with that.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy. If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
Yeah, right.
Miss Montgomery, please don't lie to me. I know you've been conducting experiments with ethericity. I've seen the room you're renting on Forest Lane.
What? But how?
Went there. Yeah, screw it. Let's go with
I
that.
found a spare key in your room, enclosed in a letter from your landlady.
You went through my room?
Yes.
Through my private
Yes.
things? How dare you?
Part of my job, Miss Montgomery. Now tell me about your experiments.
Sarah.
No, Mr. Fordham, I don't think I will. You had no right to go through my private documents. And I'm not legally obligated to tell you anything. So kindly drop the subject before I decide to press charges against you for unlawful entry.
Ooh, touchy, isn't she?
Very.
Although, it's generally not a good idea to tell people you went through their things.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
What? Phew, I failed that again, I suppose. Failure number 2. Right, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, it was the apartment. I thought it was something with it. And... what was that, then? Oh,
Welcome
you!
back,
Hi.
Mr. Fordham.
Thank you.
She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Go grab some friggin' tea, you.
There's no way you'll be able to look behind that curtain while Mrs. Martin is in the...
We know.
She's not going to be
all
much
right,
help.
screw it. Out. Can we, use the tweezers to torment her and let her... No? Does that have anything new to say?
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Okay.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Alright,
Okay, what have you got?
I don't know. Alright.
I seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupre's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Yes. Sure I can.
Madame Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, we are in a coffee house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful than coffee. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
Okay.
then you'd better get back to it.
Will do. More powerful, but you're just sewing your boiler. Nothing to get. Alright, hold out. And cemetery. E. There you go. I was going to the other place. Hi, old woman needs help.
Good day to you, officer.
Afraid I ain't got time for
No?
idle chat, sir. Please, move along.
But old woman needs help over down there, right? That's nothing, that's not. To pray. Do I get her to pretend to be an old woman, maybe?
Hello, dearest. I have returned.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door.
Yeah, that's the way to say hi when you get home from work, isn't it? Oh, well, that's Miles Jr. Alright,
I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles Jr. It's a spitting image.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
I have returned.
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre?
I've read that the Dupreys are one of the few wealthy families that exclusively employ real people to serve. Rather commendable, don't you think?
Yes. It makes it even more baffling why she was attacked. Have you heard any gossip from your clients? Anything about who might have wanted to harm her?
Nothing. She's held in the highest regard by the other Grand Dames. If she had actually died, I'd have expected them to petition her canonization.
Right, I'm going to pause for a little bit. As per usual, I always wonder, as soon as I said it, why the hell do I tell you I'm going to pause? I mean, it's not like you're going to notice. Apart maybe from a jump in music if you're very, very observant.
I was wondering
yes,
if you could
do
do me a
that.
favor.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm,
Well, you are irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
Yep.
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then. Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
I seem to have gotten all turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind. Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one. And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
You know,
Nice
Miles,
one.
sometimes I forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really
Of
necessary?
course it was.
I'm sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work. I have to say, I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
True.
Well, it's been fun, but I need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
Will do. And with that, let's also call it an episode. Thanks for watching. Take care. See ya. Have fun.